Hi everybody, it's Lindsay and today I am back with another video on my cosmetology school experience. So if you are interested in going through this journey with me, then you can just keep on watching. Today I am going to be talking about my third and final semester in cosmetology school, which I went to Transition School of Cosmetology and Careers, and this semester is called Advanced 2. So if you watched my last video, then you know Advance 1 ended in April, and then you should have started summer semester in May, and you would have finished up in August. I, however, did not do summer semester, so I actually came back in September to finish out my last semester. First day of class was on September 3rd, 2019, and we went to theory first, which started at 8 o'clock and went until 12:30, and then we clock out and we come back at 12 o'clock and we will go to lab until 3:30. So once again in lab, the first 2 weeks were just review. We did cuts, color, and chemicals, which was good because I didn't do anything over the summer, so I really needed that refresher when I got back to school. And we just picked our stations again like the first day of class, and then we started taking clients on September the 15th, I believe, September 17th. And basically we would clock in at 12 o'clock and we would either take over a client for the advance one student who was leaving, or we would get a new client that was coming in. And if you didn't have a client, then you were expected to be working on a mannequin, because at this point basically you are just trying to get whatever NPAs that you have left, you need to finish those up before you graduate, because you, like I said earlier, you have so many of each you had to get done. So say you needed 50 pressings and you only had 25, then you needed to get those 25 done before the end of the semester. So, and then once again this semester in lab, on Mondays again were service days. So we would have simple service days where we work on each other, and then either that morning or afternoon we would have a demo. And this semester we had Design Essentials come in, and they actually did product knowledge with us, and they showed us like some of their new products that were coming out. And they did 2 demos on 2 girls in our class. One was a natural style and the other one was just like a flat iron style and curls. We had a lot of balayage demos. Like I was over balayage just because I'm not that good at it, so I don't really like balayage, honestly. And then we also had a makeup artist come in and do a demo on one of the girls in our class. When it came to theory, I'm gonna say theory is like the most important part this semester. Like you really need to focus on your theory, because this semester, this is when we learned all of our rules and laws, everything you need to know when you get out after you graduate and you get into a salon. So our teacher actually created like this red folder that we would go over in theory, and it just had a packet on PSI, which was the testing people that we had to go through when we went to take state board. It had each service that we were going to be performing, the steps to perform each service. We also had a laws and rules book, and y'all basically just memorize this whole thing, like, well, anything that pertains to cosmetology. Well, everything pertains to cosmetology. So yeah, just memorize like that whole book, or just highlight, like the most important things in it. When it came to exams, which was in December, we had one day which was called a shopping day, and we came to school, clocked in, and then we left in like groups. It was just me and my friend T. We had to go get all the materials you needed for our final exam and state boards, and basically y'all could either split the cost, which was what we did, or you could pay on your own. And I would advise splitting the cost because stuff was expensive. You had to get the rubber gloves, paper towels, cotton, cholesterol to do chemical services, if you lost or broke anything throughout the semester, so like tint bows or brushes, or you needed a new cape or you needed a new mannequin stand, like you had to buy all of that, because when you go to state boards they don't give you anything. So that day after we finished shopping, we had to come back to school and pack our kits because we took finals like the next day or a few days later. We took our finals. So when it came to finals, our final was on December, I'm gonna say December 12th and December 13th. So December 12th was when we did our theory exam, and once again, they tested us just like state board. Make sure you have on the right uniform, which y'all, this was our uniform top, one of them, the burgundy shirt, or we had a black smock that we could wear, and it just had the logo, and it has the logo on the back, and then we had a name tag that we had to wear. So they checked our uniforms, they assigned us a station, and then you had to wait for instructions. So half of the class was on one side of the room, and there was one instructor that graded that side of the class, and then the other half of the class was on the other station, like on the other wall, and our other teacher graded that half of the room. And I don't know why, but this test to me, like this final, it was just like so, it felt more real than like the other ones. They were like super strict during this one, like you couldn't talk, which we couldn't talk in any of the other ones either, but I don't know, this one just felt different. And I did mess up during my exam. I dropped one of my gloves during the perm, which you need 2 gloves, so make sure y'all pack extra gloves. But yeah, and then we found out like the next day if we passed. No, okay, so this is how we found out if we passed or failed this time. Our teacher, when we signed in, we had to put our email address, and she emailed us later on that evening, or it was like the next day, and told us if we passed or failed, because that's how they're gonna do it at state board. They don't tell you when you're there. They email you, or they put it on like a website, and you have to go there, and it tells you if you pass or you fail. So our theory exam was December 13th. Our exam was 300 questions. Mind you, state board exam was only like 110. So our school like over prepared us. So our exam was 300 questions. We had to be there, I think, at like 8 or 9 in the morning. I don't remember how long the exam took, but I do know I was the last one in the room, which was totally fine because your girl passed. I passed my exam. And that was actually my last day of class. That's when I clocked my 1,550 hours. Like I had over the amount of hours I needed. I actually got my certificate of completion, and I did not have to come back into school until December 18th, which was our graduation ceremony. And basically for that, they had all the classes come together. So basics, advanced 1, advanced 2, aesthetics, and the nail tech class. We all came, had one big breakfast, and then we went to the auditorium, and that is where they handed out our certificates, and they had a slideshow, and then teachers had their remarks, or if they had like funny stories or whatever they wanted to tell. And after that, that was basically it. That was basically my last semester in cosmetology school. So if you enjoyed this video, if you have any questions or comments, or you just want to know anything, leave it below, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye.